All right, Shavosai, good morning. Let us begin. So we're going to do another beautiful piece from the Be'er HaChaim this morning. I sent it out on the WhatsApp chat, and there are sheets available as well if you want a hard copy. And we're going to do a beautiful piece on Sreifas Chametz, burning Chametz. You know, this year, of course, is a little bit unique because the halacha is that we do Biur Chametz today, even though... Say thank you so much. Thank you. I'm sorry? It's perfect. It's perfect. Thank you. If it's coffee and it has caffeine, it's perfect. Thank you so much. So we have an interesting dynamic this year, being that, you know, Erev Pesach is on Shabbos. We do the Biur today. We dispose of our chametz today, in order not to create confusion in subsequent years. So we do the sale of chametz today, we do Biur chametz today, again, all to create some level of continuity. So I want to share with you a beautiful piece about the Biur chametz. So the Be'er HaChaim writes over here as follows. He says, Pesach dvarenu Yair b'dvarim hayotzim libo hatar shalagon Rabbi Akiva Eger. Quotes over here a beautiful idea by Rabbi Akiva Eger, who says as follows: Shekasa b'michtavo Gam tzarech lahaskir be'inyan erev Pesach ki bizman shahayu yisrael shruim ala admasan haya lanu yom tov b'simcha u'b'shchitas ha-Pesach u'kriyas ha-Hallel. You know, I will say that erev Pesach, when the Beis Hamikdash stood, you know, we spent Baruch Hashem a lot of time b'seches Pesachim, and of course there the focus was, of course, a lot on the Yom Tov of Pesach itself, Karban Pesach, Pesach Sheni. But Rabbi Akiva Eger points out, he says in the times of the Beis Hamikdash, Erev Pesach was also an incredible Yom Tov. It was an incredible Yom Tov. A day, ultimately, again, with offering up the Karban Pesach, a day of Hallel, u'ke'es ba'avonosenu, tzrichim al kol panim lasos zecher lazeh, v'linog bo kidushas hayom. And even though we don't yet have our Beis Hamikdash, we still have to go out of our way to make Erev Pesach feel like something significant and special. Liyos yorei v'chari v'osek b'mitzvos kol hayom. And I will say, part of the beauty of Erev Pesach, you know, Erev Pesach is always a hectic day. In fact, one of the unique things we have this year is that Erev Pesach, okay, will be a little bit hectic just because you have to finish eating chametz by early in the morning. But that rush that's normally associated with Erev Pesach will not happen this year. The ability to go into the Seder benachos, and the ability to go into the Seder hopefully rested, and the ability to go into the Seder prepared is a very unique privilege. But the Rebbe says we have to go out of our way to make Erev Pesach something special. To go ahead the same way that when the Beis Hamikdash stood, Erev Pesach was filled with frenetic mitzvah activity. We have to do whatever is within our power to make Erev Pesach special as well. He goes on, he says, V'osek b'mitzvos kol yom, b'biur, u'b'bittul chametz, v'tikon v'hachanas ha-seder. U'meshaliv b'dvarav hakdoshim, inyan v'gilu b'ra'ada. So he says the Erev Pesach, you could kind of describe the dynamic, gilu b'ra'ada, which means rejoice with trepidation. David HaMelech. Ki mitzad echad, who is simcha v'sason machmas hakravas karban Pesach. Because on one hand, Erev Pesach is a time of incredible joy. Joy because the karban Pesach was offered up. Ach mitzad sheni, tzarech leiskonin karoi, left-hand column, page Lamed Vav, b'charadas kodesh likras hashaos v'hayomim hagidolim habaim aleinu letova. V'hu al yidei bittul u'bir chametz kipshuto kimidrasho, Dekoi alakedis hayetzer hara mitoch libo shel adam. So this is actually quite beautiful. So the Be'er HaChaim writes, according to Rabbi Akiva Eger, that Erev Pesach has this dynamic of gilu bira'ada, rejoicing, because of course, again, an incredible Yom Tov is upon us, and with all of the dynamics of Pesach that we've discussed over the last number of weeks, the idea of change, the idea of salvation, the idea of new beginning, the idea ultimately, again, of embracing our national identity, personal identity. But on the other hand, that's the gilu, that's the rejoicing. But there's a ra'ada, there's a trepidation, because remember, the avoda of Erev Pesach is bedika and biur chametz. And as we've discussed over the last number of days, that bedika and biur is not just for my home, but it's for my heart. The idea that over these days, and specifically Erev Pesach, is when I am supposed to go ahead and make sure that I root out the last vestiges of internal personalistic chametz, and I find the ability now to biur, to destroy it. So I will say, up until Erev Pesach, you're really focused on the search. I'm focused on identifying what's broken and in a state of disrepair, and I'm focused on making sure that I find a way to kind of gather it up, get it to one location, identify it, gather it. Erev Pesach, the avoda is biur, to get rid of it, to expunge it, to destroy it. He goes on so beautifully. He says, "Shas sreifa chametz, shas sreifas chametz, gavoy himaod." This is really, it's so beautiful. The time that we burn the chametz is such an incredibly holy time. Ukimoshe hegidu tzadike kamoi shebeis kazos mevarim eshara min haolam. But say the Svarim right, the tzaddikim right, that at the time of Biur chametz, when we burn the physical chametz, it's a time when evil is eradicated from the world. Because understandable, say we now know that when we're searching for chametz and burning chametz, I'm not just getting rid of my bread. I'm not just getting rid of my Cheerios and my pretzels and my granola bars. I found the courage over the course of these last couple of days to identify the chametz inside of me, and I've made a concrete decision to change. I've decided that, you know what, I don't want to live with chametz in my life and in my heart all of the time, and I want to get rid of it. And as I stand by the fire, or in this case, maybe the dumpster, and I go ahead and I throw out all of my chametz. The tzaddikim write that there is a purging of negativity and a purging of brokenkeit and a purging of evil from the world. He goes on, he says, because mevarim haram in olam, we purge the world of evil. V'nishar avir tzach v'naki mikol lichluch v'zuama. And the air itself becomes cleansed from any impurity. V'achein ro eitzel tzadikim sheshkiu harbe kochos hanefesh b'sreifas chametz. Therefore, we find by the tzaddikim of yesteryear that they spent a lot of time and put in a lot of effort getting rid and destroying the chametz. V'chein he'idu, listen to how beautiful this is. Hameshamshim b'kodesh eitzel Rav HaKodesh Rabbi Aaron Bells, the shamashim, the attendants of the Rebbe Aaron Bells said, shebe'is sreifas chametz, when the Rebbe would burn the chametz, hayu einav zolgos demaos. He would cry. Davar shelo ro'u etzlo b'shayimos hashana. Apparently, Aaron Bells, I guess, wasn't an outwardly emotional man, so they didn't really see displays of crying. The one time a year they saw him crying was by Biur chametz, by the burning of the chametz. So nobody say that's not because of the smoke from the fire, right? They saw him crying because the Rebbe understood what's happening in Israel. You know, say we live in a world and we look around and we sometimes, it looks so broken, because it is broken in so many ways. And sometimes we look in the mirror and I look and I see someone who's so broken in so many ways. And what Biur chametz gives us the ability to do is to purge ourselves from all that, to somehow cleanse the world, to somehow cleanse ourselves, to somehow restore the world. It's almost like restoring back to the original settings of spiritual cleanliness. And the Belz Rebbe understood this, and because of that, Biur chametz was such an emotional experience for him. Page Lamed Zayin. Ba'is kazos mavir Hashem yisbarach ruach tuma min haaretz. In this time, the Ribbon Shalom removes literally again the spirit of impurity from the world. Ubiyad ha'adam liklot min hakidusha. And a person has the ability to collect liklot, to collect that holiness. V'achein chasidim v'anshe ma'isa nagu b'shazu lishpoch siach lifnei Hashem v'lomar as hatfila shechiber Rav HaKadosh Rabbi Elimelech Milezhensk la'omra kodem hatfila dehit salusa the kulaba. Some have the beautiful custom that at the time of Sreifas Chametz, at the time of Biur chametz, they say the Tefillah of Rav Elimelech of Lezhensk. I'll send it out. Rav Elimelech of Lezhensk has a Tefillah that's called the Tefillah Kodem LeTefillah. It's a Tefillah you're supposed to say before you daven. An incredibly beautiful, I'll send it out to you a little bit later. An incredibly beautiful, magnificent tefillah. It's called, in the world of Chassidus, the Tefillah de Kulaba. It has everything in it. It's like the one-stop shopping for prayer service. It has everything. So some have the minhag by Biur chametz to say the tefillah of Rav Elimelech. Charata, tshuva ala avar, bakashos ala asid, because in the tefillah of Rav Elimelech it has remorse, tshuva for what I've done, requests for the past, devarim shebein adam lamakom, devarim shebein adam lechaveiro, and a request to just start again, to just start again in my relationship with Hashem, in my relationship with other people. V'chol mila v'chol teva shavos yosem alfei zav v'kesef. One of the most beautifully composed tefillos in all of the tefillos. Literally, he says every word is worth its weight in gold and silver. Ma ma'od roilis amikba ulo omra b'mesinos ubekavana kemona maos. And it's kidai when burning the chametz to say the tefillah of Elimelech and to say it slowly, as slow as one counts money. Ubeshas hakosha zeh bevadai yishma Hashem l'kol shavasinu. And in this auspicious time, the Moshe will certainly listen to our tefillos. V'achar hasreifa, and after we burn the chametz, misoreres ruach tara ba'olam. There is a spirit of purity that is awakened upon the world. Ki kvar nichras v'nisraf hara v'ne'ekar min ha'olam. Because with the burning of the chametz, Rabbi Akiva Eiger suggests that there is an element of evil, of negativity, that's eradicated from the world and that's eradicated from ourselves. Ve'es misugelas hi lahatir uleeschan lefnei melech malchei amlochim. And it is an auspicious time to supplicate before the Ribono Shel Olam. V'akadosh Baruch Hu kasher avra olam zach v'naki bebechinas sha'al mimeni ve'etna ukvasu hakadmonim. And the kadmonim, the early ones, write ki me'es shesarfim es hachametz betchilas sharavias v'ad chatzos Yesh shalosh shos. Okay, see, he goes on. We're going to leave out this last part. But I'll say, what I want to point out to you is something absolutely amazing. That what the Berachim, it's really Rabbi Akiva Eiger, which is quite fascinating. What Rabbi Akiva Eiger is highlighting to us is this yisod, that at the time that there's a progression. We've spent the last couple of days searching for the chametz of the home, for the chametz of the heart. I want to go ahead and finally find the courage to identify the things within me which are broken, and to finally find the strength to get rid of them. Biur chametz is the time when we go ahead and we finally destroy that which is chametz within ourselves. And when we do so, says Rabbi Akiva Eiger, we not only cleanse ourselves, but we cleanse the world. So we'll say a time of Biur chametz, therefore says the Be'er HaChaim, according to Rabbi Akiva Eiger, is a time that is incredibly auspicious for tefillah. It's a new beginning. We're starting over again. We'll say, you feel something in the air. I mean, it was helpful that it's warm this morning. You walk out and you feel something a little bit different. Something is happening. It's a strange year. Because, again, Erev Pesach is Shabbos. So, the general, the frenetic rush that's associated with Erev Pesach, you don't feel today as much. But today is Biur chametz. Today is the last day we really have the opportunity to really get ready for Pesach. Because once Shabbos comes, there's a little bit of an autopilot that occurs. But understand the avoda of today and tomorrow. It's Biur chametz. We've done our bedika. Hopefully we've done the cheshbon nefesh. We've identified what has to be expunged, what has to be changed, what has to be removed. And today and tomorrow is when we do the avoda of actively removing it. And when we do so, we not only purify ourselves, but we purify the world. And when we purify the world and we partner with the Ribono Shel Olam in making the world just a little bit better, Rabbi Akiva Eiger says it is a time that is auspicious for tefillah, to daven for ourselves, to daven for our mishpachos, to daven for our friends who may be in need, and to ultimately daven for geula. Because as Chazal say, B'Nisan nigalu, u'B'Nisan asidon ligal. We were redeemed once in the month of Nisan many thousands of years ago, and Emeretz Hashem, hopefully with our proper bedika and with our proper biur, we will Emeretz Hashem be redeemed once again.